Welcome to this explainer. Okay, if you're a founder or a business leader sketching out a new idea, building an iOS app right now in 2026 is an absolutely brilliant investment. But it's one that really requires a deep understanding of the financial landscape. So today, we're going to unpack a comprehensive breakdown of the actual metrics required to build an iOS app this year. We're stripping away the guesswork and looking directly at the hard numbers, plus the strategic choices that actually define those numbers.
Okay, let's dive into this. The single most common burning question every single founder asks right out of the gate is simply, how much will it actually cost? I mean, it's the elephant in the room, right? And the honest truth, the reality we really need to prepare for is that there's just no single fixed price. You can't just grab an app off a shelf with a standard price tag on it. The cost is a living, breathing metric. It flexes and scales based on a whole multitude of decisions you're going to make along your development journey.
Here's our quick blueprint for today. We'll be covering the true cost in 2026, what drives app costs, beware of hidden expenses, iOS versus Android economics, the outsourcing advantage, and finally, GrowRankers, development meets growth. Let's get right to it.
All right, Section 1, the true cost in 2026.
To establish our anchor pricing, this brilliantly illustrates the three main tiers of app complexity. If you're looking to build a simple app with basic features, standard functionality without too many bells and whistles, you're looking at a range somewhere between $5,000 and $15,000. Moving up the ladder, a mid-level app, which generally includes things like custom APIs, secure payment gateways, user dashboards, and account management, that'll usually range between $30,000 and $80,000. And finally, at the very top end, we have the large enterprise-level applications. These are the real heavy hitters. They feature AI integrations, real-time systems, advanced security protocols, highly scalable backend infrastructure, the whole shebang. For these, the budget can easily exceed $150,000 or more.
Moving right along to Section 2, what actually drives app costs? So you might be wondering, why does one app cost $5,000 and another costs $150,000? Well, it really comes down to 10 massive factors, and we can essentially group them into two main buckets: what you're building and who is building it. On the what you are building side, you have the overall app complexity, the sheer scale of the app, and the total number of screens. The category matters immensely, too. For instance, building for a highly regulated industry like fintech or healthcare is going to drive costs way up compared to a basic e-commerce app. Then you also have the quality of your UI/UX design and the complexity of your API integrations. Now, on the who is building it side, your costs are dictated by your hiring model, overall team size, the rigorousness of testing and QA, and, absolutely crucially, the developer's location. It's this unique cocktail of app scale and team dynamics that ultimately determines your final invoice.
Now for Section 3, beware of hidden expenses.
The crucial point here is that launch day is really just the starting line. Too many businesses entirely forget to plan for what comes after. You absolutely have to factor in mandatory app store fees, robust server hosting, and ongoing maintenance. Plus, you need to think about legal compliance as regulations inevitably shift over time. Toss in premium analytics tools, push notification infrastructure, and the ongoing updates needed to keep the app fresh and compatible with new Apple software. Factoring these financial blind spots into your initial budget is just absolutely vital for your long-term return on investment.
Okay, Section 4, iOS versus Android economics.
When you're planning out your mobile strategy, the choice of platform inherently changes the economic math. From a pure development standpoint, iOS apps are often significantly faster to build. Why is that? Well, because Apple devices are incredibly standardized. You're building for a very specific, controlled family of iPhones and iPads. Android, on the flip side, operates in a highly fragmented ecosystem. It requires rigorous testing across hundreds of different device types and varying screen sizes. However, the major trade-off is that Android commands a much larger global market share. So iOS offers development speed through standardization, while Android offers a broader global reach.
But what if you actually want both without completely doubling your budget? Well, by leveraging cross-platform technologies, specifically frameworks like React Native and Flutter, you can write your code just once and deploy it to both platforms. And the impact on your budget? You can slash overall development costs by up to 40%. That is a massive retention of capital that you can redirect right back into marketing or scaling your overall business. Which brings us to Section 5, the outsourcing advantage. As a massive industry trend, outsourcing has proven to be a highly effective cost-to-value strategy.
And when we talk about outsourcing, India has firmly established itself as the premier global hub for iOS app development. They really provide a combination that's incredibly hard to beat. Highly skilled developers with proven technical expertise, backed by really strong English communication skills. And they deliver this top-tier quality at highly competitive pricing, often just a fraction of what you'd pay for agencies based in the US, the UK, or Australia. You're essentially getting world-class talent that is perfectly optimized for cost to value.
Finally, Section 6, GrowRankers, where development meets growth. GrowRankers is a standout example of a company that completely capitalizes on this outsourcing advantage. They operate as an integrated partner rather than just a basic dev shop. So let's move to town and see how this builds under one roof with their comprehensive end-to-end process. Step 1 is idea validation, which ensures your concept actually has real market legs. Step 2 is crafting that beautiful UI/UX design. Step 3 gets into the real heavy lifting of swift development and building out scalable back-end engineering. Step 4 orchestrates a flawless App Store launch, and importantly, Step 5 is totally dedicated to post-launch growth support. It's a completely unified pipeline from start to finish.
You see, a modern agency really shouldn't just write code. They have to focus on a holistic growth strategy. GrowRankers brings App Store optimization and deep SEO thinking to the table to ensure your product actually gets found by users. Crucially, they operate with totally transparent pricing and milestone-based delivery, so you literally always know exactly what you're paying for and when. Plus, they provide that critical ongoing support after the launch. It's really about transitioning from simply spending money on code to actively investing in user engagement, retention, and overall scale.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a question to really chew on as you plan out your 2026 budget. Are you just building an app, or are you engineering long-term business growth? Understanding the hard costs, from those basic $5,000 tiers all the way to the hidden fees, and choosing the right strategic partner can literally be the difference between an app that just sits in the store gathering dust and an app that completely transforms your business. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I really hope this gives you the exact blueprint you need to move forward with absolute confidence.